We just have 4 more entrants in the parade, and then they'll be straightening things out and getting back into operations. You'll be able to ride several of the trains that were in today's parade, including the Nebraska Zephyr. Now pulling into the reviewing area. Folks, the 9911A and the Nebraska Zephyr train that it's pulling is a very distinctive train, and the only one of its type preserved in the United States. The locomotive 9911A is an E5 type that was built in 1940 by the Electromotive Corporation in LaGrange, Illinois. Now this eventually became the Electromotive Division of General Motors, got renamed. The E5, the 9911, is the only stainless-clad locomotive that was saved. The train itself is the Nebraska Zephyr train. It was originally built as the Twin Cities Zephyr, but when they got new cars after the war, this train was built in 1936. In 1948, they got new cars after the war for that service. It was then downgraded to the Nebraska Zephyr. It's a very distinctive train in that it's an articulated train, and that means that the cars cannot be uncoupled from each other. They all have the common truck. The engineer on the 9911A today is Scott Nauer. Scott's a longtime volunteer in the diesel department and is a professional railroader and has come in from out of town for the diesel parade. So Scott, wait a minute, kids, cover your ears, kids. And Scott's going to give us a blast on the horns, and you can see them big ones up on top there, and pass in review. While we're waiting for the next units to pull that takes place here at the museum grounds. Cars, trucks, fire engines, motorcycles, buses, and a vast array of motorized vehicles joins the rail collection for just this one day. So don't forget to come and visit us on August 1st, Sunday, August 1st, for the 20th annual Vintage Transport Extravaganza. And remember, you can get in free to that show if you purchase a membership here at the Illinois Railway Museum. Pulling into the reviewing area is the Chicago Northwestern 6847. The 6847 is a newer locomotive here at the museum. It was built in 1974 by the Electromotive Division of General Motors. It's a freight-type locomotive and was absorbed into the Union Pacific in 1995 when the Union Pacific purchased the Chicago and Northwestern. Several years ago, the Union Pacific generously donated this locomotive to the museum, and it has been restored back to its Chicago and Northwestern livery. And we want to remind you that the Union Pacific generously sent out several locomotives for display here at the museum. On the west wall here are two locomotives from the Union Pacific, and they are the Chicago Northwestern Heritage Unit, as well as the last order of Chicago Northwestern locomotives from General Electric. There's also a Union Pacific switcher out here. So the company has been very generous to the museum, providing free transportation as well as donating equipment. The engineer on the 6847 is Scott Witowikowski. Scott is one of the longtime volunteer here in the electric car department, but he's a multi-talented guy. Scott's also an employee of the Union Pacific Railroad, and he's our engineer today. So kids, cover your ears, and Scott's going to give us a blast on the horn and passing review.